We are live. This is the second episode of the Bayou Dragon Podcast. We have the TikTok live going for the viewers that are watching it. And today we have one of the co-owners of the Bayou Dragons, Tanner, with us.
How you doing today?
Glad to have you on, Tanner. About time you got on.
Yeah.
I'm a busy man.
Yeah, nervous about doing this for sure.
Yeah.
Should have seen the glass of whiskey he just chugged.
Yeah, I had to down me a nice glass of bourbon just to...
But y'all went fishing today.
Yeah, Tanner called me last night and wanted to go fishing, and I really honestly didn't want to go because I was wanting to kind of catch up on my sleep, but I was like, shit, I'll just go.
We have been very close friends for a very, very long time, and it's always very, very clear when Mitch didn't want to do shit.
Oh, dude, I just wanted to catch up on sleep.
100%.
I'm glad I went.
Yeah, I'm glad you went.
They pooched.
Yeah, he didn't pooch, and I fully expected him to pooch. 100%. I was at work all night.
Tanner really put me on the fish this morning. We hammered him. Tanner's quite the saltwater fishing guide.
Yeah, we had a shitty morning.
Fished the jetties.
We fished the jetties. It was
While y'all
slow.
are fishing, I was nice hungover and playing at Rayburn Country. A nice round of golf. Our team actually did win, though, so I got a badass head cover. It's like a Roadrunner.
So won? You didn't tell me that.
Well, not me. I was trash, but our team won.
Your team won.
My team, we were the Chubbs Petersons.
From the way you were talking, it sounded like y'all got y'all's asses kicked.
I did, but our team was actually pretty well.
How many were on a team?
It was six. I think there's 24 of us.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was like 6 teams of 4 or something like that.
Oh,
or
4.
7.
So teams of 4, but 24 total.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no. It's 2 big teams. I thought you meant how we played it. No, it was like 18 and 18 or 16 and 16 or something like that. There's a lot of us.
So what was this for? Like, I mean, what was the
I don't know. It's just
point of this?
a bunch of guys just want to go get drunk and play golf.
Oh, okay.
So I work with some of them. Some of them are from BFE, like Saratoga and Batson and shit like that. Places no one's ever heard of.
Hell
But yeah.
That is something we all kind of started doing a little more of, is playing some golf. We're not very good, but
Now we all suck.
it's a pretty good time to get out there and gives us an excuse to get outside. And when it's not hunting season and it's too hot to fish, I guess we'll go out there and play a little golf, drink some beer, have a good old time.
Give us good tan lines. But yeah, that last clip on TikTok, the little video Mitchell posted up from our last podcast, I was talking about getting bit by a snake, and I didn't know we had so many doctors that followed us.
I thought it was hilarious because I posted a small clip where you were talking about what the doctor told you when you were laying in the hospital bed. And there's so many people that just, I thought it was hilarious. And I'm not a medical professional by any means, so
None of us are.
I don't know what you were saying, if it was accurate or not. I just thought it was interesting. But that's actually what the doctor told you.
Yes, I'm a witness. I was there. I drove Porter to the hospital that night. I actually had to force his ass to go to the hospital that night. And I drove him there. We got there. And we pretty much got sent straight back because once the nurses saw his arm, it was very clear that something was very wrong. And we rushed us back, and they kicked me out at that point. But once everything was kind of calmed down and they gave him antivenom and everything else, well, I was able to go back there. And that is clearly, I do remember very clearly, that's what the doctor said. Alcohol saved his life. It doesn't make sense in my eyes either. Trust me, I understand. It's supposed to thin out the blood and pump faster through your veins, but apparently it slowed it down somehow because the story that y'all might have heard, it there was a few details missed. It was hours. I'm talking hours. I don't know, 4 to 5 hours we screwed off catching frogs.
Continuing to partake
while
in
this
alcohol.
jackass was dying from a cottonmouth.
Yeah, I just thought
Because at the time it was so dark, I never really saw the snake. I saw it at a distance. I was in the truck, I was driving, and I just never really seen the details of the snake. I couldn't tell what it was.
yeah,
I took his word for it.
And
it was a water snake.
None of us are. I mean, we know what a cottonmouth looks like.
Oh, yeah,
obviously,
for sure.
But none of us are experts in the snake world by any means.
Definitely.
Nor should we really be catching snakes. But that was just one of those. I was not there for that one. But that's just one of those times. Porter was being Porter.
Yeah.
It was. By the time, I mean, shit. By the time we left the rice fields, I mean, it was. Your whole hand was gone. I mean, that was at least a solid hour before we finally decided, hey, let's turn it in. We're done. Let's go to the house.
Yeah.
We went and cleaned up, and I basically helped bathe his ass. I mean, he was filthy from head to toe, and when he got out of the shower, it was I don't know, 3 inches up his forearm, probably, roughly, and I mean that was the indication. Especially when it started turning color. It started turning blue and black and
Well, I'm glad you had
purple.
insurance. I remember you saying how much it cost for each vial of anti-venom or whatever it's called.
It was a lot.
Yeah, I don't remember the numbers.
expensive.
It was.
A lot.
I remember. I thought your mother was going to murder you.
I was more scared of my mom than
Yeah,
the state.
I thought your mom was going to murder you after a little while because
well,
it was an unbelievable.
yeah. Well, they're like, they're like, well, it took so long. We ended up having to put like 8 bags in them.
Well, wasn't it like multiple extra bags vials compared to normal, like the normal average cottonmouth bite?
I don't know, dude.
I thought it was. I don't remember. I honestly, I don't remember. I would have to go talk to that doctor again, which he.
Oh, well, and also where we're from, it's not a super reputable hospital. So
not at all.
it's
I
not.
don't even know why I took him there. Honestly,
And, yeah, he took me to one of the farthest hospitals.
well,
From
it was
yeah,
my parents' house at the time. We
yeah.
that was high school. So yes, I lived with my parents, and that's about an equal distance from Beaumont to Mid County.
Yeah.
I definitely would have went the Beaumont route. if it was
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
Hell,
probably.
we
but
should have gone to the Winnie Clinic.
That would have been better than Port Arthur.
Yeah,
most likely. Yeah,
but
Port Arthur is known for
just not
not a very well hospital.
yeah. But yeah, so I cherished all the comments, most of them negative, but it helps the algorithm. So we got over 1 million views on that.
I thought it was hilarious. I mean, the way I look at it is the more views, the more hate and the more shit talk you're going to get. At this point, I really don't read a lot of them. I just think it's, it is what it is.
Oh, if you don't have haters, you ain't doing it right.
Exactly.
But switching gears a little bit, me and Porter got to go on a pretty badass offshore trip. It was about close to a month ago. Shout out to Ryan Warhola for hooking that up.
Captain Ryan Warhola.
But, man, it was badass. Got to go on a really cool boat and go out of Galveston and see some really cool fish and catch some blue marlin.
Yeah, caught record-breaking blue marlin. It was
Never-
on a
never seen
72-foot
nothing like
Viking, so we're basically on a house, a yacht, and has like 5 bedrooms, 12 beds, a couch, TV. I think they're out there right now. Cade.
Yeah, it's probably bigger than the house we're in right now. Probably mine too.
Yeah, probably lengthwise. I mean, we're not in a great size house.
Overall, I mean that's a massive
Boat.
massive boat.
Yeah, they. I think Cade. He sent me a Snapchat today. He was just feet crossed, hit the button, the flat screen TV came out of the.
Old Cade, man, that's a good.
I tell you what, that was my first. I've been offshore before, but that was my first time actually staying for multiple days, and I was wondering if I was going to get seasick. I've never been seasick before, but dude, that first night, I think I drank too much, and sleeping in that front bedroom, just going up and
that's
down.
the
all
worst.
night.
Yeah, that's the
So
worst place you could be is up front.
Let me tell you what happened. So, dude, I woke up and my stomach was very uneasy. And man, I tried. I got up. I was walking around. I was like, I got to throw up. Porter was just getting out of the bathroom. I walked into the bathroom as Porter was coming out, and I threw up a little bit, and he said some of it got on him.
Yeah, no, I had vomit on my foot. Like,
but dude, it
was like a gleek of vomit. Went like it got on my shin and my foot and like a little bit on my forearm. I don't know how. It just because I was just like, you need in here? Because I was trying to take a shower. I could not figure out how to open the door, and all you had to do was push it. And I'm sitting here. I was like, I'm about to break this son of a bitch off the hinges, and Mitchell's just like,
get out of the way,
and just.
But I think it was definitely alcohol induced, and a combination of going up and down. But the second, so the
alcohol
girl
and rough waters does not go well at all.
The girl that was working on the boat, she was the cook for the weekend. She was badass. Her name was her Instagram name is Hot Shot Holly. Badass cook.
Yeah, was it Gourmet Girl? Is her Instagram tag also her business? She does. Like trips, like I think she's going like a elk hunt, and she's gonna like cater the whole thing and all kinds of shit.
But anyway, dude, so I was feeling like shit, and she was like, "Here, eat this, you're good." She gave me this little block of ginger, dude. As soon as I ate it, I was fine the rest of the trip. Like I was good.
I've heard that. I've never actually done it myself.
100% worked.
I've been on many offshore trips. I've never got sick except for the last trip I went on. That's the only time I've ever got sick. And it was alcohol induced, I believe. I went to sake. We went out, ate sake the night before, and I got a little tarnished on some hot sake.
I love hot sake.
And just a few hours later, I went and launched the boat and ran out 186 miles, and that did not go very well.
Yeah, people don't understand living in Texas how far you have to go.
Oh yeah, I mean you're because it's ridiculous. I mean when you plan an offshore trip out of Texas, where we're at, our location, you're basically just donating at least 6 hours of runtime at the very beginning to get anywhere to where you're going to catch fish.
Not in a
well, it depends on your speed.
Not on a 72-foot.
Well, on a 72-foot dike.
Oh, that damn thing was moving, dude. Yeah. I don't know exactly how fast we were cruising on that thing,
like
but
50, and it feels like you're going sitting still.
So I'm used to the boat that I go on pretty regularly, which is our travel speed's 28 miles an hour.
Oof.
So 28 miles an hour,
which is pretty normal for a regular.
180 something miles. I mean, it takes. Plus, you make stops on the way. You run into a weed line. You stop, troll for a little while, or catch a triple tail,
mahi,
mahi, trash floating. You always stop. Everything you see, you stop.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it takes hours,
Doug,
to get where you plan to be.
The biggest triple tail I've ever seen in my life. Doug caught it off of a floating toilet bowl, like the mouth of a toilet bowl, and it looked like a damn carpet.
Dude, I've caught mahi off floating cans, like a Dr. Pepper can or Coke can or whatever. Just something. It's structure.
Yeah, they see that structure, and
it's not even really structure. It's just a floating something in the water.
Piece of trash.
Yeah, a piece of trash that that holds fish. It's unbelievable. Just the smallest, little bittiest things will hold fish.
What was awesome though, which I know you've done it too, but on the boat, which we've done it a lot. As soon as we caught a blackfin tuna, threw it on the deck, cleaned it. Holly went and prepared it a bunch of different ways.
Oh, there's
just fantastic. Like straight out of the water, fish is the best.
There's nothing better than literally ripping a fish off your hook and filleting it, and moments later putting that meat in your mouth. I mean, it's
raw.
That raw fish.
Snapper.
That fresh salt. Oh, man, there's just nothing.
Snapper, swordfish, tilefish, and tuna. I mean, I've had all those, and it's just so good. You rip something out from 1,800 foot down, and then just kill it and eat it right there.
I mean, there's nothing beats it. It's.
I'd like to try a ceviche. We didn't do that.
I do it every time I go, no matter what. I always bring everything to make it, and the first fish I catch, always we'll cut it up, and
I make a pretty good dip. A buddy of mine showed us in Venice, Louisiana, when we were tuna fishing the first time, and he took it and put it in with like lime and oranges and cut up habanero, onions, cilantro, tomato, all that shit. Eat it with some Julio's chips.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
Oh, Julio's chips the way to go.
Yeah, I don't think that's a very broad chip in North America, but
Yeah, I don't
need
know
to
how
have.
far it goes.
Everybody needs to have Julio's
I
chips.
tell you what, their spicy blend is spicy.
Oh, it is.
I was
But
very
it's
surprised.
fantastic.
It's good, but it's got a kick.
Dude, yesterday, speaking of spicy, at that golf tournament, it was already noon, but I'd been talking about getting a Bloody Mary all day, so I stopped at the turn to the clubhouse. I was like, make me the spiciest Bloody Mary you've ever made, to the girl, and she just looks at me dead serious, walks to the back, brings out 2 different bottles of hot sauce, like Tabasco and something else, and was just, I'm talking probably 30, just, I was like, oh yes. It was spicy as hell, made my stomach churn, almost shit myself on the back 9.
You've always eaten spicy foods, though.
Yeah.
Porter is notorious for eating spicy food.
Porter loves it spicy.
He turned me on to this place in Galveston. What was it called? That vodka distillery?
I think it's called Taste of Texas.
No. It was there's a distillery. I'll think of the name here in a minute. But they had a habanero blend. It goes from jalapeno to habanero or whatever. I think they even had hotter than that.
Yeah, they have like the Ghost Reaper or whatever the hell it's called.
Texas Tales, maybe. I don't know.
I'd have to figure out.
Yeah, don't ask me.
But they had some good Bloody Marys in there.
That's a nice place too. They have a cool little hangout in the back. Throw cornhole, washers, and it's like turf or whatever. And they had like a taco truck. Pretty nice.
Yeah, we ate that at one of those trucks. Some badass nachos.
What did I eat yesterday? I didn't eat nachos. Somebody got nachos and they're freaking good. Rayburn Country, dude, they have a badass bar getting built right now.
They already have a badass bar in there, like
Yeah,
in the
inside.
clubhouse.
No, outside though. It's like for music and like there's probably like 50 to 60 chairs out there, tables. It looks nice.
I'd like to go stay there for a weekend and
Oh,
do.
yeah.
That'd be
I don't know
pretty-
who bought it, but they seem to be doing pretty well.
And they have a cafe.
It was kind of...
Like a separate cafe. I had breakfast there this morning. Pretty good. Played shitty golf, and today was match play, so it was 1v1. The guy I played against just kicked my ass. By hole 10, I left. First to 10,
Yeah.
and didn't win a single hole. I was like, perfect.
I wish we had some nicer golf courses locally. We have some pretty decent ones, but I'm talking, you got to go to, I guess, Rayburn Country or Louisiana. Like all the casinos have nice ones.
Yeah.
Well, was it you the other day? We're at Bayou Den, and that dude was from Tennessee?
No, it wouldn't be.
No, it was your brother then. There's a dude from Tennessee down, I guess, visiting family. We told him, we're like, go to Eagle Point. That's probably the nicest public golf course around here.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was like, yeah, this place is kind of shit. I was like, yeah, but I love it.
I like Bayou Den.
It's our local golf course.
Yeah.
We could literally 5 minutes down the road and go play a round of golf, and
But
it's cheap. And
I've been to
it's
South
always
Carolina.
pretty decently well kept.
Yeah. I mean, after my South Carolina trip and Georgia trip, and I've played on like 15 different world-renowned golf courses. I come back here, I'm like,
Yeah. Bayou Den it is.
Bayou Den it is.
Go from that to playing these courses down here is
Yeah.
a big change.
The Ocean course, like 8,200 yards long, no cart paths, so you have to walk the whole thing. And like a normal golf, like me, a golfer that's like a high 90 golfer, you're going to shoot a 120, 130.
Yeah.
It'll despair you.
Yeah.
But,
Lose all confidence.
Oh, yeah.
It don't take much.
This is actually the first time I actually mentioned it. We have a bass tournament coming up on the 26th. Corey messaged me. We were off.
Of this month?
Yeah, of this month, I think. Yeah. Yeah,
What's
this month.
today? I don't even know what today is.
I don't either.
12th?
Yeah, the 26th, we have a tournament. Ken is inviting
Where?
us. Rayburn.
Oh, shit.
And
Dude, they have been just slaughtering
who's the partner?
Slaughtering fish.
It'd be you and Tanner.
What about Joe? Is he not going to fish it?
I think Joe's actually going to be working. He'll be on, I don't think he'd take off. He'd be on days.
I guess I'll fish with Tanner. Nah, Tanner's a good fisherman. I can.
I feel like anytime me and you fish together, we always do pretty well.
You usually do. I don't know what it is. Tournament setting, I never perform, man.
Mitch is one of those that pre-fishing will just absolutely destroy everybody. Maybe not weight-wise, but fish-wise. Like, he'll just catch so many fish.
And then tournament comes around, it's all dinks.
Yeah, every time
Dinks.
Joe's got to carry his ass every time. Or
Joe usually does carry my ass.
We have a tournament every April. My grandfather and his buddies started it like almost 50 years ago.
Yep.
It's called the Two Moon Junction. Back then it was just the Ullmans, but they had a subdivision tournament. And Mitchell and Joe's name on there is Team Dink. But it's a super cool tournament. It starts the Sunday, like it's a whole week long. Like the Sunday before the tournament actually starts the party. We have like live band there. We have crawfish, and then like each day somebody cooks
a different meal every evening.
Thursday's big golf tournament at Rayburn Country, and then the tournament's Friday and Saturday. This year, who ended up winning it? Lynn did Lynn win it this year?
No, it was
one of the Melanson boys.
It was
won
both of the Melanson
brothers.
Wasn't it Josh and Jeremy?
They might have won it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they won it.
But they got first, second. I thought me and Rance had it this year. When we came in with that 6'2", I was like, we got big bass at least. And they had a 6'3".
Yeah.
Beat us by 1 ounce.
1 ounce. They got y'all by 1 ounce. Plus, I mean, they had a pretty decent sack the first day.
Yeah, they did.
They were top 5, I think, first day.
Because we were sitting in. Well, we were all. So we were. What did we like? Were we 6, 7, 8?
So the first day, I think I was 4th. Mitch and Joe were 5th, and we and Rance were 6th.
Yeah,
and then by the second day, y'all.
We end up 3rd overall.
Y'all were 3rd.
I think we finished at 6th, maybe.
Yeah, and I think we were 5th.
Which I'm very.
So somebody got in between us. I don't remember who it was.
Yeah, people. I mean, it's not a big tournament. We have 30 to 40 boats every year, but the average age probably is 60 to 65 years old. But these old men have been bass fishing
for years,
for twice as long.
They all live up there, so they fish regularly.
Yeah,
we don't get that chance. We work and have lives down here. We don't get to go up every day and fish like these old men do.
Yeah, and they you have Ricky and Paul, Mark, all of them. They just constantly are on fish. Right now, they're just destroying white perch.
Yeah, they're every day just slaughtering the shit out of white perch. And
Paul called me it was like 2 or 3 days ago or something like that. He's like, "Well, we're already over 500 for the for the season. As soon as the Two Moon gets done, they start keeping count on how many white perch. Last year they ended up with like 20.
I think it was almost 2,200.
No, it was almost 2,300.
Almost 2,300.
And it's like exact, like he tallies it up.
Yeah, they got a book. They got a book with tallies that counts everything they caught on dates.
We caught 2,287 white perch.
It goes by the exact number.
Yeah, we caught 37 on this day. Everything's calculated perfectly.
Yeah,
I mean
I guess
they keep tabs on that shit.
That's the life though. Being old.
Oh yeah,
just.
Nothing better to do but literally just catch white perch all day.
Wake up, drink coffee.
Like they don't even have desire to catch bass anymore.
No.
I mean,
no.
They got their 300 brush piles and literally just go hot brush piles all day long and catch the shit out of white perch. It's pretty good life. Maybe one day we'll be there.
Yeah. Maybe we can. The Bayou Dragons will take us, or we can just do a podcast on the boat while we're catching white perch.
That would be badass.
It's like, oh, hold on, we got another one. But yeah, no, the tournament ended up being good this year. Money went to a good cause. If we ever need to, we'll donate all the money away. So but no one fishes it for the money. There ain't that much in it.
Yeah, I mean,
really just want the trophy, which Mitch and Joe won it the previous year.
Yep. Joe carried me, but yes. Yeah, we won, man. Joe got big bass, and we won overall. And never thought, honestly, that I would be at the top.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the dream. That's all we ever want is to be at the top. But when it comes down to it,
honestly, winning that tournament to me is like, if I could win that tournament and win big bass, to me that's like winning the McDonald's, winning the boat and the truck.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just the bragging rights.
Yeah.
Literally go up and just talk shit the whole time because you're the one with the trophy.
Yeah. And what's funny, so Joe, the fourth of us, not here, but y'all might never see him on here, but he actually is the boss of one of the guys that fished at the tournament, and he was like, I'm gonna dock your pay if you beat me this year, and all kinds of shit.
And he did.
And he put his trophy on his desk, so he had to see it every day.
Yeah.
And now and the guy that works for him actually won. So Joe told him, he's like, we're gonna have a meeting next Monday. We're gonna talk about that raise you're requesting. Might have to postpone that one until next year.
Old Joe, man, he should be working his way up to plant manager here before too long, huh?
Dude, they're asking him to be like the operations supervisor or something like that, and he's just like, nah.
Joe has pool, man.
Yeah, he's definitely got pull for sure.
Joe has pull everywhere.
Yeah, he doesn't act like it, but
oh yeah, we have about 2 minutes. It's 26 right now.
all right.
But yeah, our buddy Joe, he has all the land and gets to do badass shit all the time with his father-in-law. They only have a couple acres, like 60,000 or something like that.
They got a badass setup.
Yeah, especially down in Smith Point, the lodge. That's where we went, and we caught some crabs a while back, and we caught a few.
Yeah, I would say so. We cleaned crabs for 2 hours.
Uncountable amount. I mean,
Which there's not a limit in Texas. There's a size limit, but not a actual number limit.
I'm glad you turned us on to frying those things.
Oh, dude,
that was some good crab.
Barbecuing crab is the only way. Did y'all end up doing it?
Oh yeah,
We fried them in a big old pot, like you said.
Yeah.
that was the way to go.
We cooked like 8 to 10 at a time.
Oh, they
Shit, more than that.
y'all.
Oh hell, we had at least 4 dozen just from the few that I took.
Yeah,
You had way more than I had.
yeah. I cooked them for the fam. Yeah, that was the day I was coming back from Arkansas. I was drunk as hell and drinking Bloody Marys in random towns in Louisiana all the way home. I was like, I'll be home at noon. We got home at 10 that night.
I figured you weren't going to make it. I mean, that's a long drive.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, really, it's only like
When you told us you were coming home from Arkansas, I was like, there's no way he's coming. There's no way. He's going to make a 6 hour drive and then come hang out with us. Hell no, I wouldn't do it.
Well, my buddy Cole was like, oh, we got to stop here. We're going to stop here. We're going to stop, which I had a great time. We drank a lot of alcohol. But this episode is brought to you by Snuff Cup Spittoon.
There you go.
You need to get one of these. Put your can in the bottom.
We do. We highly recommend the Snuff Cup.
Yeah. They're,
very solid.
yeah.
Good spittoon.
Yep. Stay sealed. But anyway, yeah.
I keep doing that.
I know.
I'm trying to get this situated.
So now it's about to be summer. I'm going to be missing that spring bass fishing. We were talking about it earlier, just like our biggest fish, each person's, what their record bass is.
Of course, you bring this topic up because you have the biggest one, but shoot, we talked about it a little bit in the previous episode, but I just haven't hung into the big one yet, man. It will come. It will. But I'm sitting around 5.5 for my biggest personal best. Tanner?
My biggest bass, I don't remember exactly to the ounce, but I'm pretty sure it was a 6 pound, 12 ounce, which won a tournament. And me and Mitchell were fishing a Goodyear tournament. I worked for Goodyear. It was a company.
The tire shop right off in Beaumont.
No, I don't work for the tire shop. But anyway, yeah, it was a company tournament, and my first year actually, I just hired in, and me and Mitchell, I asked Mitchell to fish with me, and it was the last 5 minutes.
We had a sack.
I mean, we had a sack. I mean, we had good fish. We had 1 over 4. I mean, we had a 4.5, I think.
We had several over 3 and a 1 over 4. Anyway, so Tanner, we have to make it to the weigh-in by a certain time, and it was getting to the time we needed to head in and shag to the weigh-in. And Tanner said, "Let's fish that bank right there." We had like maybe 5 minutes left to fish. And I was like, hell, what, ain't gonna hurt nothing. Tanner rips a cod out of the buck brush.
Yeah.
And
I threw my rod. Basically, I just threw it in the water and looked at Mitch. Was like, dude, let's just go hit that bank and just finish the last few minutes on that bank. And as soon as I said that, I felt it and right in that buck brush and picked it up. I'm pretty sure it was 6 pounds, 12 ounces. As soon as I ripped into it, I didn't even know. We didn't even weigh it. We threw it in the boat.
Cold.
We cold the smallest fish, which who knows what that was. It was probably 2.5, whatever it was, and we threw it in the live well and hauled ass. And we get back and the tournament weighed it, and we won big bass and
first place
by a drastic amount.
And that's 2 first place victories for me for bass fishing tournaments. 2 first place victories.
Yep.
Yeah, it was like 18 pounds was y'all stringer. It was a good one because y'all
19, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was 19. It was pushing 20.
Because me and Rance were fishing Decker Lake up in Austin, and up there's it's like one of those plant treatment ponds, and we were like a small fish is like a 4-pounder, so we're just ripping fish, and then y'all send a damn photo to me with 19-pound stringer. I was like, damn,
that's the heaviest sack I've weighed in a tournament.
That was a good sack.
Anything close to 20 you're up there. Yeah. On Toledo. I mean, you see these guys on Rayburn like 25 28 plus, pounds stringers, dude. Like, that's crazy.
But then, like, once a year, there'll be somebody that catches like a 40-pound stringer. I'm like, that is ridiculous.
Yeah, they got 4 fish at 10 pounds.
Shoving the lead down them damn fish's gullets is what they're doing.
Yeah, it's that's pretty impressive to. If you break 25 pounds,
you're doing something right.
That's something pretty solid in a tournament. I mean, that's pretty solid. 25 pounds. I've never had that in a tournament.
Right.
I don't know if I've ever had that. Just bullshitting. But
yeah.
Me and Porter, we've caught some sacks. Yeah. Just screwing around.
That time we were sight fishing in the back of, what was that? What's that little cove down there in Toledo? Housing. Me and you were.
Oh yeah. That's 2 days in a row.
Yeah, we just went down there and smashed them.
That was that day I caught that fish. Remember, it was like 5.5.
Yeah.
And I thought I broke it. I thought I broke my PR, and because we just knew it was at least 7.
Yeah.
It fought like a tank. It fought like hell, and I got it to the boat, and Porter 100% 7 pounds, and I'm the same way. I just knew it was fat. It wasn't very long.
Yeah, that
was a fat fish, and of course, we get back to the camp and weigh it. It was only like 5.5. It's pretty pathetic. We're off 2 pounds.
Yeah. Well, my biggest, which I've had multiple over 8, and I had one that was 9.54. And it was 26 inches long, 18 inches diameter, but I caught it about 3 days late. It already spawned out.
Yeah, that was
damn stomach. I got up there. It was in the nitro. Launched the boat. Didn't even crank the big motor. I just trolling motored down from the boat ramp about 100 yards down to Ricky's. And he comes out on the porch. Get out of my fishing spot. Just messing with me. And I was like, me and him bullshitted back and forth. I was like, I'm going to go and just catch some fish like 10 yards that way. Putted down, and my grandpa, who lives up there, is up at neighbor Dennis's house, and he's like, "Hey, you caught anything yet?" I'm like, "No, I've only been here for 10 minutes." Half the time I was talking to Ricky. Well, we talked for a minute. He walks back into the camp, and I just tossed underneath those little cypress trees right there. Felt it go off. When I set the hook, I was like, "Oh, this is it. This is the Leviathan." Jumps out of the water, and I was like, oh, God dang. I see Paul come back out and I didn't know that everyone was Paul, Chester, Chuck, Dennis, Mike. Like there's like 10 old men, average age 65 at least, sprinting down the bank. And Chuck already had the official, like we have official scale for the tournament. He was running down there with the scale, and the whole time they're just yelling at me, "Don't horse him, don't horse him." I was like, "Shut up! I got this." Of course, I went to reach for the net, no net. Fought it 4 times around the boat, lipped it. I was like, "This is a 10-pounder, first time ever. Missed it by half an ounce."
That's still a very impressive fish, though.
Oh, yeah. 9 pounds. I mean, that's a good fish. I don't care who you are. 9-pound fish is a solid fish.
Yeah, Paul's been there actually which is great. He's been there for both my 2 biggest. I caught one that was right under 9. I was like 8.7 or something like that. And I caught it in the boat with him. Middle of the wintertime, raining its ass off. I caught it on a big-ass one of those big brush hogs. No, that one was the lizard. I caught the 9-pounder on a brush hog. But that, of course, I caught it the week before the 2 moon. So
yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah,
Week before the biggest tournament of our life.
Yeah,
is when you catch something like that.
Yeah, I mean, shit. It was like 2 years ago. I had 2 6-pounders. The week of, I'm like, I need to stop doing this.
Yeah, you don't pre-fish as much as you used to.
No,
Porter used to be a hardcore pre-fisher.
2 weeks before.
Yeah, and
I'd
rather catch a pile of fish. But now you're lucky to see them on the lake before tournament day.
I'll just sit out there. I'll let Rance do all my – and Rance will go pre-fish.
Rance pre-fishes harder than just about anybody.
Dude, he covered so many miles this tournament. He'd call me each day with like a update. He's like, they're not in 6 Mile. There's some in Housing. There's none by the Pendleton. Like he ran up to Sandy Creek all the way down to Mill Creek.
To Patroon.
Yeah, to Patroon.
Negrete. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't smoke down some Negrete.
Yeah. That is a funny story. The Negrete, my grandfather was telling us, him and my dad, like 20 years ago, fished a tournament out of like a little boat ramp in Louisiana. Came across the lake with like 6-foot swells. Just, they said their assholes were that tight. And he was like, "We're in Negrete catching some fish." I was like, Jesus Christ.
Speaking of funny stories, I was actually thinking about one the other day back when we used to duck hunt in high school. And we used to run outboards, and we didn't have a mud motor for a while running out here. It's best to have a mud motor where we hunt. Anyway, Porter gets a hold of this Go Devil. I don't know how old this thing is. It looks like it was a really old mud motor. And big old long tail Go Devil. I mean, the shaft on that thing was probably 7 foot long. And we put it on his aluminum boat. And Porter was like, "Oh, we're ready to go, man." We were all pumped up about it. And that thing, man, we get out there, and the terrain we're navigating through in the marsh down here is like really skinny, like ditches. And we, do the whole bit, stay out all night. And 4 o'clock, we can enter the refuge. Porter, man, we crank that motor up, and I will say a 7-foot longtail is not good for, going through a windy ditch. Anyway, so we're going down this ditch. It's like 4 a.m, and Porter is trying to work this thing. He's having hell with it. And he goes around this corner, and you just hear, ah! Porter, his leg, after the fact, figured this out. Porter's leg cramped up, and you just heard, ah! And Porter falls down, and the tiller handle goes completely sideways, and he just rams the whole boat onto the bank. And then we get passed by like 3 boats. It was hilarious.
Yeah, and it was karma because Mitch just laughed his ass off, and I was like, it was funny, but it was like cold morning, just straight up, just
You had to see it though
So we're the same ditch, which is even funny. Is like 3 or 4 years later, we have us a nice motor, what is it, mud, or is it?
It's a surface drive. It's not a long tail.
Yeah, surface drive, and we're coming out of the refuge. Tanner was in front of us, and I'm just sitting on the front of the boat. Mitch is driving, and he catches a cramp in his bicep, and he had not had this motor for like a week.
It's pre-owned.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
it was new to me.
Yeah, brand new to Mitch, and he just rams it up onto the bank, and it slid back down, and water started pouring over the boat. And Mitch like, get on the front, and I jumped out and like started try to push us off, and I am laughing so hard, and I'm saying, like, I was like, oh, dude, we're about to sink this son of a bitch.
If you wouldn't have been in that boat standing, like, water was just pouring over the transom.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, if you remember right.
It was back. You were gone. You were sitting on the levee waiting for us. That boat, when I hit the bank, it went, like, kind of cockeyed, and that water just started pouring over the transom, and it didn't stop. We had to get out of the boat, push it back. I didn't have a bilge on the boat at the time. Porter had to stand on the very front. Still don't have a bilge in my boat. Porter was standing on the very front of the boat. That boat was full.
I remember.
No exaggeration. Like, if you sat down like on the seats, the water was over it. We had about that much clearance.
Yeah.
Like
there was a bunch of water.
So I'm ahead. Remember? Okay. So we take off. We were hunting wherever the hell we were hunting.
Central unit.
Yes.
Everybody go hunt.
Yeah, everybody go hunt Central Unit, but we were smoking their ass in Central Unit that morning. But so we took off. I'm by myself. I'm in my boat, and Mitch and Porter behind me, and we take off, and I'm not even looking back. I just go and I was in my 17-foot South Fork at the time, and I got all the way to the levee, and I just hit it wide open, and boat dry land 100%, fully on dry land. So I'm sitting there waiting on them to pull up so we could pull both boats over. We all three help get each boat over. And after 20 minutes of sitting there, not knowing what the hell was going on.
Well, my motor,
because the whole time they were about sunk.
My motor wouldn't propel my boat.
I know.
It was bogged. I had it full throttle. It was just bogged.
Yeah. So by the time I see them coming down this canal, literally, the only thing I see is their bodies in the edge of the boat. Like, there's this much water, of the boat sticking out of the water, and they're in a ditch just as wide as the boat. So it's pushing all the water that's in that ditch up. And, it was a barge. Y'all are a barge just coming down with several hundred gallons of water in the boat.
I really thought Mitch was going to fight me because I could not. I was in tears, just laid up on the front laughing because I just remembered the morning that I caught that cramp and Mitch was just, hounding me about it.
It was karma. I have another thing.
If y'all think about it, that ditch has whipped our ass.
Well, I'm going to tell you another story about it that y'all will all remember. So back before we had a decent outboard, we were running that fucking Mariner.
The Mariner was a bad dude.
That old Mariner. We piled in that boat, and
we put four people in that boat.
So what we did was we would pull up to the levee, remove
the motor
from the boat, so we could pull the boat over, and then we'd put the motor back on.
The boat was so heavy. It wasn't that big of a boat, but it was just a very low quality boat, and it had all kinds of shit in it.
Yeah.
So it was heavy as hell.
It was heavy.
So we would remove the motor,
gas tank,
everything,
our gear.
all our gear, everything, and we just lay it on the bank, and we would pick the boat up off each corner
and towed it over the levee.
And then put everything back on it.
But anyway, we hunted that morning, 4 of us, and I don't remember how we did, but we went to head out, and we made it back to the levee. I believe Tanner hit the levee full throttle with that outboard. Anyway, we went to crank it back up, and one of us, whoever was driving the boat, pulled the damn
that was me.
Pulled the pull rope out of the cowling, and we were like, shit, what do we do? Well, we finally figured out, we can take the cowling off and wind the rope and on the flywheel.
Yeah, after sitting there for
hours,
a very long time.
We
gave up. We had called people and tried to get people to come get us, and because we were the only jackasses out there at the time.
Yeah.
And
Remember, I called Paul. And
that was back in the good old days when nobody knew about it.
Yeah. Now it is a McFadden Central Unit. Everyone should go out there.
Yep.
McFadden Wildlife Refuge Central Unit.
Central Unit.
Yeah, go hunt it. It's great.
Very, very, very good hunting
But
area.
dude, I just remember all those mornings. We'd get over the levee, and the tide would be out 200 yards. We just had to push through mud. Just agonizing.
Waist deep of pure
Silt shit.
silt mud. And them boats just don't.
The
Back
shit
in
we
the day,
did, man.
the shitty boats that we owned did not push very well.
No, we were using a 14-foot, 900 freaking pound Alumacraft with it wasn't a flat bottom, so it just bead right into the mud.
Even mud motors. Hell, at some points, when I finally was able to get that Mud Buddy, and that thing whipped our ass in that canal.
We did a bunch of shit,
when you're literally when there's zero water for several hundred yards, and there's nowhere else to go.
Were you on the hunt this year where I almost flipped Mitchell's boat? You're on the levee. Yeah, you just jumped the levee, and Mitch told me to full send it.
Oh yes,
Jumping.
I witnessed the whole thing.
I knew that. I didn't know, but I thought that might happen, but what could
I didn't think that was gonna happen.
Porter went to jump
mine
the levee.
went so smooth, perfectly cleared right over, and then I
Porter
turn
completely.
around, and here comes Porter, and that was a very, very close to a boat flipping.
Mitch told me, he said, just full send. And I'm just hauling ass. And I didn't get straight on with it.
That's a kind of a hard area. You gotta,
And I don't run surface drives like y'all do. And I came around the edge, and that ass end didn't straighten up. I hit it sideways. And in the boat, it felt like I was just, I was like, oh no.
and you went airborne.
And there's like a divot in the earth right there. And the boat just went just straight into
Fell
it.
right into the hole.
Motors just running. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, that was probably a very successful morning for us, wasn't it?
No.
This past duck season, they keep getting
2 duck seasons.
worse and worse every year.
Yeah.
But this past one was, and I did have a couple good hunts, but public land in Southeast Texas the past couple of years.
I've been
trash.
hunting. I've been pretty steadily duck hunting since I was 8 years old, and I would say this past year was the worst I've ever gone through. And the year before that, I said the same thing. So the last 2 years have been the 2 worst duck seasons I have ever hunted.
That's why we're going to get
in
a trailer.
Southeast Texas.
Get a trailer and start doing what Colton Castle does.
It's pathetic, and it doesn't help that at midnight there's 30 boats at the boat ramp.
And I brought that up in the last podcast that we did. This area, I'm telling you, holds some of the most diehard waterfowl hunters, I would say, in the country, just because of the shitty conditions, the mosquitoes, the shit hunts that people get out. Look at J.D. Murphy. Let's talk about J.D. Murphy Wildlife Refuge, okay?
Which none of us hunt.
None of us hunt that shit.
For a specific reason.
These kids will get out there. You have to wait in line.
Days.
They sit there for days in advance to hunt that. Now, granted, they probably got some good honey holes that they will go slam some birds. I'm not about to go sit in line for...
They trade out. These people, they'll park their vehicle, just say first in line. And, obviously you can't sit there. You're on the side of a highway. There's nowhere to go. These people trade out for days.
Yep.
Close to 2 days at a time.
Days.
I've seen them there as early.
Oh, I've seen them early as Tuesday,
Wednesday. Can't hunt till Saturday morning.
Yeah.
They're sitting in
and
line.
they'll sit in line from Tuesday to Saturday.
I mean, that's pretty diehard, man.
I mean, that's insane. I mean, we've been pretty diehard our entire lives and never ever have done anything remotely.
No,
close
I'm not
to
going 5 days before, and then what if you don't shoot nothing?
Exactly.
That just,
I mean,
I'd rather get an ass whooping straight up.
100%. I'm not gonna sit in line for several days just to
They act like it's
possibly shoot some birds.
the people that hunt JD. They act like it's the Super Bowl. They'll tailgate. They have like little smokies out there.
Oh, yeah.
Cooking some DJ's boudin and
sure.
shit. And I'm
No,
like,
hats off to them for. I mean,
yeah,
that's just
y'all hammer down. That
ain't
keeps
what
y'all
I'm
out of my marsh, so that's fine with me.
Tanner owns the marsh now.
yeah, he bought it.
Nah,
Cash money. He
it
bought
doesn't help. I mean, it doesn't matter.
No.
There's still going to be, no matter what,
No, what we're gonna start
30
doing,
people out there every single day of hunting season.
we're just gonna start just going north. Go where the
I'd say about 95% of them don't know a shit of what they're doing.
No, dude. Remember that time we hunted Cardiac Pond?
Oh my
And
God.
so there's a huge pond down here. Like, you can hunt easily about 5 or 6 groups, but we get out there and there's probably 10 groups of some people, like up to like 5 or 6 people on this damn thing. There's like 60 people on one pond, and we're set up on this one side of the pond, and 5 jackasses come up.
So, not to mess you up, but let's start off from the beginning. So remember, we got there early, right?
Yes.
Okay. It was us 3 plus Matthew, Mitch's little brother. And what did we do? We told Matthew to just haul ass.
No, that was Mitchell.
No,
It wasn't.
no.
No.
it was Matt. Matt was the one. Remember, we got to the pond, and he was sleeping on the bank because he was so wore out, and we
Oh.
couldn't find him.
I thought about the time Mitchell threw up the pizza.
No, that was the same time.
I don't know if it was the same time or not, but I did regurgitate on one of those hunts into the pond after racing in.
I might be wrong.
No, I'm pretty sure. I don't think Matt was there, but I think Matt was in a different group. I think it was Joe, us 3, and Joe. Because remember the pig?
That wasn't the same time as the
Okay.
the
Orange vest.
the orange vest. That was
so-
not the same time.
That was the whole
But
thing.
that was a good time. That was
Yeah.
a damn good one.
But so what I'll finish my story that
go ahead.
we're sitting there and it's already like 3:30 or no. I mean, we got in at 4. It was like 30 minutes before shooting time, and you see 5 dudes tracking through the marsh in all orange, bright orange clothing, and they instead of like I was like, oh, look at these jackasses. They instead of like getting in the cane or like getting nestled down, they sit with their feet in the water on the edge of the pond, just
Clear as day.
So for people that don't duck hunt or know anything about duck hunting, you need to cover yourself. That's probably the most important thing is concealment. And these guys are wearing literally hunter orange.
They're sitting on the, like we are right here, sitting on the bank, wide open.
yeah.
Everybody on the pond can see them clear as day because they're sitting just like this with their guns. And
They did not shoot.
They didn't shoot.
They didn't shoot shit.
Shit.
It actually worked to our benefit. 'cause
It
they
did.
were flaring off them.
Yeah, and
coming
we
to us.
limited very, very quickly. We shot a
Yeah.
3-4 man, whatever it was, very quickly.
Yeah, but you'll have those kind of people out there where you're like, oh my God.
So another, I want to talk about probably my favorite trip ever, Cardiac. And I'm pretty sure it was Mitchell and your brother. The tornado?
Oh, that was badass.
Okay, so
Well, it was shitty, but it was badass.
so we bust our ass getting out to this pond, and I don't know how many groups were out there. There was, I don't even know. I mean, honestly, that was so long ago.
And it's not just so this pond is a good 20-minute walk. I mean, I don't know how
through
long it is,
shit.
but it's through some shit.
I think it's damn near a mile. I don't think it's quite a mile.
Toting all your gear,
But it's
through
close.
straight.
Yes,
Shit marsh.
and it's a brutal walk. But we get out to this pond, and shooting time's coming around, and we're watching radar. Our radar is just looking dangerous, very, very dangerous. And we're sitting there, and of course, as soon as shooting time comes along, we just absolutely get hammered by one of the worst storms you could possibly sit through. I mean,
Lightning its ass off.
and we're up damn near a mile away from the boat. There's nowhere to go. You're just sitting there on the bank, and it's lightning. The wind's blowing 40 miles an hour, and it's, I mean, raining as hard as it can. I mean, it's bad. And it was till season. right?
Yes,
Pretty sure it was teal season.
It was teal season.
And
I still have a photo from that hunt of
Yeah.
us riding back, soaking wet, holding up a limit of teal.
Yes. So here we are. We're sitting in the storm, and I mean, it's a shit show. And we look up, and there's this fucking funnel cloud, like a legit. Down here, we don't get tornadoes very often, but when you see it, you know. I mean, it's pretty solid, and it was coming down. I mean, not very far from us. I'd say within a mile. I mean, it was coming down, and it made its way probably halfway between the clouds to the ground before it finally kind of stopped and worked its way back up. And, you know, we're just sitting here thinking we're going to die today. You know, today's going to be our day. We're not going to make it out of the marsh. And literally, it was like a switch. I mean, the rain stopped, the wind stopped, and we shot a 3-man limit in 10 minutes.
Absolutely slammed the bird.
The birds just immediately took off, and 10 minutes, guaranteed 10 minutes, we had a 3-man limit.
But I think we're about out of time, man. Got some pretty big plans and some exciting things coming for us, and we're excited to move forward with this podcast. Pretty pumped about it.
Yep. We definitely appreciate everybody tuning in, listening, all the support, and everybody buying our apparel is awesome. Right now we are, you know, it's busy. We all have full-time jobs, so we're trying to get everything out as fast as we can. We are in back order on some stuff. You can still order it, just might take a little bit longer, so just be patient. I mean, we're not Amazon, so but we do appreciate everybody tuning in, listening, and hopefully we keep getting good feedback. We're going to keep doing more of these. Hopefully we can do multiple a week, start having guests on, so we appreciate everybody tuning in for sure.
See y'all next time.
Yep. Appreciate it.